All right, y'all. So now check this out. So we finna be understanding the soul and reincarnation. And for those of you all who don't know, you have to, if you believe in any type of astrology, especially horoscopic natal astrology, between sidereal Vedic, which are what I am, or tropical astrology, you have to believe in past lives. That's what the whole thing is here for, right? So now let's take a look at this shit. So now, as you can see, listen, these are two different people. This man over here and this man over here, two different people, but they have some similar features, right? You know what I'm talking about? This their reincarnation theory. You look just like a king from the old past life lineage. You look just like the queen of whatever the hell. You see what I'm saying? It's sometimes a similar image, but not the same people technically, right? You are a reincarnation, right? You're not a resurrection. The difference between a resurrection is bringing you, if you die, right back to life. A reincarnation is okay, once you pass on, the energy or whatever you are, it's going to be shaped and repurposed and repackaged and compartmentalized. And when it gets in, it's going to be born into a new vessel with similar features and similar, you know what I'm talking about, mannerisms and life paths and shit like that. Real talk, right? So look at this shit. And it's not even just for humans, it's also for animals. You see how all these animals are right here and then boom, we go to the human. But look at it. Everything is in its most curvy, cyclical nature, right? What do they all share? The soul. Now let's get into it. Now, this is a mostly accurate representation of the cycle of life, death, and rebirth, the reincarnation process. If you believe in Vedic astrology, you have to accept the fact that it deals with past lives. These lives are shared by one common denominator, y'all, the soul. The souls what y'all share, right? That's what these two different people that kind of look similar, it's at different age points. Yeah, that's what connects them, right? It's the soul, right? And you gotta remember, the soul is the witness of the actual journey, right? Real talk. That's why it's the sun sign in astrology. It rules the light aspect, right? Now let's look let's continue. Yes, the soul that resides inside of you has been through many lives from different bodies, situations, and events, basically shaping this role for the next life and body it goes into to achieve moksha or nirvana, which is basically the final ascension of this from the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. Yeah, moksha and nirvana, and I'm getting to that shit here in a minute, right? So now, and this is called the wheel of samsara. Now, you see where it says no one escapes karma because it transcends realms and times unless you achieve moksha. So they might be winning in this life, but they probably gonna get fucked in the next life. It's just how it goes, right? You know what I'm talking about? So I'm gonna give you a prime example. If I do a whole bunch of kidnapping and fuck shit and violent shit unnecessarily, when I get reborn again, all that shit might happen to me. Or you could be born blind, crippled. I'm talking about all type of heinous, messed up shit, real shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's what karma means. And for those of y'all who talk about karma, no karma come from the Hindu terminology. Karma, that word tantra, chakras, kundalini, third eye, all the shit y'all love come directly from the Hindu culture that we can look up with records, right? Coming from their scriptures and all type of shit, right? And some of y'all might be, well, Kimmy, this, we don't have no 100% true scriptures that have more than likely been deciphered correctly by moral people who aren't in it just to make a buck, who gonna tell you the 100% truth without you know what I'm trying to lie. So don't come on here trying to correct me and all that bullshit, because I'm a way deeper thinker than y'all would expect, right? Now, what you gotta understand, y'all, listen, this shit's serious. We finna explain this wheel of samsara shit, right? So now look, this is the wheel of samsara, right? And the red creature you see right here with the skulls on his head, y'all, it's called Yama, the god of death and the underworld, right? In the Hindu culture, right? He also he's oh let me make sure I put his. He is also the God of Dharma and righteousness, right? He is the judge that reincarnates you based off of your actions, right? And we're gonna get into more on how he does that exactly, right? In his grasp, he holds the cycle of life, death, and rebirth, right? You can clearly see the cyclical nature of life. Matter of fact, let's just take a look at it. Y'all see that shit? Look at the cycle. Everything has a cycle. Everything has a cycle, literally, y'all. But now, listen, we finished playing this shit. Now let's scroll back down. So, but now you look how this person is freed from the cycle through moksha liberation. So you see how everybody is, you know, entrapped on this actual wheel. Look, the Echo Young, but look, these two, I think this is a deity, but this person is not on this wheel, right? Because they're not at the bottom, they're not at the left, hand corner at the bottom, right hand. They're at the top right. You understand that shit? They are ascending. Do you understand, right? They are ascending off and past this actual life cycle thing, real shit. Now, Yama, the god of death, or Kala in Vedic tradition, plays a crucial role in the process of reincarnation. He is the ruler of Yamaloka. That's the kind of the area where he presides there, right? You know what I'm saying? Basically, the realm of the dead, where souls are judged based on their karma before assigning their next birth. You understand that shit? So when you go there, you finna get your ass. He finna look at your shit and be like, "Oh, you did this, that, and third." And he gonna put you on the path. He basically just enforced the law of karma. That's what he really do, right? That's what he do. He enforced karma is already a thing. He just enforces that shit. Like, okay, well, if you done that and that third, then guess what? Those actions created this type of life cycle that you have to complete now. That's how it goes. Reincarnation is not random. Yama, acting as Dharma Raja, right, the king of justice, ensures that each soul's next birth is based on its past actions, right? Real shit. Desires. Oh, no, no, no. Let me read it again. Reincarnation is not random, right? Yama, acting as Dharma Raja, you know what I'm talking about, king of justice, ensures that each soul's next birth is based on its past actions. Like I just told y'all, or their desires. Well, past desires too. You know what I'm talking about? And spiritual evolution between Saturn, K2, and Jupiter. Those are like the most spiritual of all planets. Real shit. Now let's go back down. Venus, you can go Venus up to two, but anyway. So step one. Now listen, this is how this we finna go over like a brief analysis of how this shit works. So now, step one, the moon, right? The moon, or also known as Chandra in Vedic astrology, and Prana, which is life force, basically separation from the body, right? Moon is the mind, and Prana is the life. So the mind and the life force completely detached from the body when it's time for you to pass on, right? If the person was deeply attached to life, then Rahu's influence, right? Right? Rahu's influence may cause the souls to hover over no, cause the souls to hover near the earthly realm before moving forward. But before we get into that, y'all don't know what Rahu is, right? Like it says, Yamadutas, the messenger's guide to the soul next realm. So Rahu is basically this whole story behind him, and I might do a whole separate video on Rahu. But you gotta understand this shit. Rahu is about illusions, but Rahu is about attachment to the actual material realm. That's why Rahu is exalted where inside the sign of Taurus. So Rahu is this shadow planet, right? And it's Rahu is the head, and its counterpart is Ketu, right? They both are one thing that was separated in the actual lore, and you know what I'm talking about. They have you know what I'm talking about similar functions and opposing functions, right? Whereas Ketu is a part of Rahu, but Ketu liberates you, moksha. Rahu keeps you trapped here, which is kind of like through karma, desires, right? So the thing about it is, the more desires you have, we're gonna talk about this a little bit later too. The more desires you have, the more easier it is for you to not be able to move on. You know what I'm talking about? You're gonna feel like, damn, you didn't get what you really wanted out of this life. So you're gonna keep reaching out trying to obtain what you always wanted. Any desire can bring your ass back here. So now, step two, the soul is taken to Yamaloka, which we already talked about, right? The realm of judgment. So the soul travels through different phases depending on their karma, right? Sattvic. For those you all don't know, you got three terminologies: sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic, right? Oh, and we finna talk about that, right? So now, sattvic is pure, right? You know what I'm talking about? Souls move towards higher realms, right? So the sattvic is like something that's more pure, something that's more unblemished, right? That's not defiled, right? It's kind of like how virgins are, right? People who haven't had sex, man and woman, they haven't defiled themselves with, you know what I'm talking about, that sexual intercourse, human interaction shit, real talk. Then you got Tomasic, right, or negative energy, right? Kind of like more darkness, kind of like a little bit more violence. I'm talking about depression, just kind of little Tomasic, a little bit more hardship, with way more hardship and pain, really, the majority of the time, right? So Tomasic souls, you know what I'm saying, they pass through the Naraka, right, the hellish realms for purification. So what does that let you know? The hellish realms. Listen, fire purifies the soul. The soul is made out of fire too, literally. Now, Yama's divine damn, I forgot if I say this shit. Chitra Gupta, or the record keeper, right, maintains a ledger of every action the soul has performed across lifetimes. Y'all know y'all be in court and you on trial and they typing all stuff and everything that you say and doing shit. Yes, that's kind of what that is. So you ain't finna escape. Yeah, we heard everything. Anything you say can and will be used against you. That's why he's the karmic. He's the king of justice. So now step three, karma. Karma determines the next birth, right? Yama does not decide the soul's next birth. He enforces the law of karma. Real shit. right? I mean, that's why I'm telling you, it's already a set law. He is just enforcing it because for those of y'all who don't know, Yama was not always a deity or a god in the Hindu pantheon. He was a man that died, and when he died, he got appointed by one of the higher gods, since he was the first human to actually die, that he would guide everybody. You know what I'm talking about? All living souls, I believe. You know what I'm talking about? Like he would. They gave him this. They established him with having this role. Essentially, what I'm trying to say now. So he don't decide the next soul birth, but now listen, the next life is assigned based on what y'all? Pradipal karma, right? Past life karma, which must be repaid in the actual next birth. Do y'all understand? Vasana, right? Unfulfilled desires. And that's what Rahu already is, right? If a person died longing for love, wealth, or power, Rahu ensures they are reborn to chase those desires. So I want y'all to listen, make sure y'all do some research on Fasana. Make sure y'all, and I'm gonna do a live about all this shit, but I want y'all to really understand this shit. The more unfulfilled desires you have, this shit will bring you back here because you got to remember there's still a lingering energy of unfulfillment, right? Real shit. That's why detachment can be so important. Now, spiritual progress, right? Saturn in K2's lesson, like I was telling y'all earlier. If the soul has learned attachment, that's going to be K2. Real talk. It may be born with higher wisdom and even reach liberation. Now, look at this shit. Here you can see the multiple lives of what the soul has, had, or will go through. Real shit. You see what I'm saying? This is all the pathway. So we can look at this side as listen, this is the past, this is the future, while he's standing on the present. Real shit. You see what you see? I'm telling y'all, this shit get really real. But if you believe in astrology, you study astrology, you should know the past life implications is what really make that all this shit what it is. Now, the astrological basis of Yama's judgment. Now, let's look at this shit from a more astrological standpoint, right? Yama assigns rebirth based on planetary karma in the birth chart. How Yama decides the type of rebirth, right? So now once karma is calculated, Yama assigns the soul to one of the following rebirths. Make sure y'all listen. Human birth. If Dharma and karma are balanced, right? And Dharma meaning like the higher duties, right? Like your spiritual duties to life, right? And karma is like the desires. If those are balanced, guess what? If the person has moderate good and bad karma, they are reborn as human, right? Higher rebirth, right? Deva or Siddhaloka, right? If a soul has accumulated good karma, like Sattvic deeds, what I was telling y'all about earlier about being pure and shit, charity, devotion, it may take birth in a noble family, right? Wealth, wisdom, or power, real shit. Heavenly realms, right? To enjoy past life. That's why a lot of y'all see some of these rich families. Sometimes it ain't them who is really like they be immoral as hell. But you got to remember a lot of their wealth and status and shit is based off of like past life implications, real shit. It ain't about what they did in this life. They might be fucked up. They just kind of reaping the benefits of what has been built over generations, over so much karmic past energy, right? That they able to look like they're living in peace. You know what I'm talking about? Look like they enjoying life to the fullest over here. I mean, this is what it is, right? You know what I'm talking about? So now let's see now right here. Now this the third one, right? A lower birth, an animal, ghost, or hellish realms, right? If karma is heavy with sins, Yama may assign a soul a difficult human life. You heard that shit? Keep on doing them. Keep on acting like a fool and shit, right? Animal birth. You know what I'm talking about? If the person lived instinctively without wisdom, boy, do y'all hear that shit? So if you just out here just going after your impulses, that's what animals do. And remember, that's what I told y'all. I showed y'all beginning with that picture. Your ass gonna be a goddamn animal. Now, predaloca. If the person died with unfulfilled desires or suicidal tendencies, basically they gonna reside in the rocker for a minute for severe karmic cleansing, real shit. That's the hellish realm aspect, right? So now let's look at this shit, moksha. Like I was telling y'all earlier, moksha or liberation from samsara. If the soul has exhausted all karma, Yama allows it to lead a cycle of rebirth. This happens when Saturn and Jupiter are aligned spiritually in the birth chart, right? Other factors as well, y'all. Preferably with K2 in your fourth, eighth, and 12th houses. But this person may merge with Brahmin or choose to return to spiritual teacher. Real shit, right? So they can either just say, man, listen, I've detached myself from the what you call, either I'm finna ascend and enjoy that shit, or I'm finna take what I learned to detach myself and come back on earth to teach people about that shit, real shit, to stop, to alleviate so much suffering, right? So now, what happens if the soul resists birth, right? So, because some souls apparently do resist taking birth again, right? Especially if they had a spiritual realization in the past life. You know what I'm talking about? Fear, you know what I'm talking about, returning due to like karmic debts, seeking liberation, you know what I'm talking about, but still have unfinished karma. I mean, it's just a man, listen. So now, Yama might send the soul to higher realms for a temporary stay, right? Place the soul in deep meditation or samadhi state, you know, until the right birth family is available. Allow the soul to be reborn only under special planetary conditions, ensuring it completes karma. Boy, oh boy. Now, how to influence your rebirth, right? So now, the Vedas and Upanishads suggest that the way that you change your karmic path and influence Yama's judgment. Look, overcome Rahu's grip, reduce desire, right? Rahu pulls you into the reincarnation by making you chase desires. Solution, practice contentment, fasting, and spiritual detachment. Real shit. Because the more you attach yourself to shit in life, the more you're gonna be fucked up, right? That's why we all be mad, sad, feelings hurt and shit. You know what I'm talking about? Disappointments because we are so attached to the experience when everything is supposedly an illusion, right? I'm telling y'all, boy, this shit get really deep. So now, Saturn, right? Discipline, clear past karmas, right? Face suffering with patience rather than resisting it, right? Perform selfless what service, right? That's what Saturn is. For those you don't know, in Vedic astrology, Saturn rules over Capricorn and Aquarius, but Aquarius is the stronger side of the two, right? Aquarius is the humanitarian. Yeah, yeah, but y'all, man, listen. So it's kind of like you, Danny, got to be selfless a little bit. You know what I'm talking about? So Yama is the cosmic judge of reincarnation. Real talk. Yama does not decide your fate. He only enforces the law of the karma, which is already established. And like I said, he was not a god at first. He was a regular person. Then he died, and then he became immortalized as the deity of justice, the karmic deity who guides all the souls. Right. So if you break free, I mean your own action, desires, and lessons determine your next birth. And that's what I want to tell y'all. That's why this is kind of more important than like Christianity and all the other religions, because you got it's really kind of putting the faith in your own hands, right? You do have a form of free will, you know what I'm saying, to a certain extent to change certain, you know what I'm saying, bad situations to have a more better and positive outcome, you know. But if you wish to break free, you must detach from Rahu's illusion, like I was just saying, and embrace Saturn's discipline and K2's wisdom. So if you want to really get off of this shit, you gotta like disillusion yourself, and that shit is hard. People don't want to give up what they feel like that they don't want to give up for what they feel like that they need to live for, even if it's the wrong shit. Real talk. And then you embrace Saturn's discipline. That's where after the realization, you like, okay, I'm gonna leave this alone. You gotta be disciplined to not backtrack because it's gonna be hard. But then after that, you embrace K2's wisdom, right? And what is K2? We embrace Saturn's and K2 wisdom, because K2 is about detaching and liberating your whole damn self from all this bullshit in the first place. Real talk. So now, how does Rahu bring you back into this world? Rahu is the most powerful force keeping the soul bound to reincarnation because it represents karma. And karma is basically mean desires, y'all. The attachment to experiences, materialism, fame, relationships, power, and ambition. Anything you can get attached to, Rahu bring your ass back. Look at this shit. Look, you see, he leaving one, but then he being caught by another because these are the subconscious desires that never really got fixed right. Real shit. That's how it is. Rahu's the common planet, right? So common means desire, passion, and sensual fulfillment, right? So Rahu is the ultimate amplifier of desires, pushing individuals to chase experiences without limits, whether it's wealth, power, relationships, or spiritual experience. Real shit. Unlike Ketu, which seeks attachment and liberation, Rahu intensifies attachment because it's Rahu is also a feminine planet that you normally can't satisfy. Because you got to remember, it's the head without a body. Because Rahu and Ketu were once together, they got cut in half after you know what I'm talking about, achieving the elixir of immortality from some the acceptive shit, and they got immortalized as planets. Real shit. You know what I'm talking about? But like I said, Rahu intensifies attachment, y'all, making the soul want to return again and to fulfill its cravings. All I'm gonna say is Rahu, a feminine planet. Always remember that shit. So whenever you have too much of an obsession to something, remember that's a desire, and it's also feminine in nature. By Rahu being an actual feminine planet, well, a feminine shadow planet. So now Rahu's role in rebirth. So Rahu's unfulfilled desires from past lives become the driving force for reincarnation. Because remember, it's something that you was trying to scroll up. Some you was trying to obtain, but you couldn't, and you like, you just can't let it go, right? The house and sign Rahu occupies in the birth chart shows what area of life keeps pulling the soul back, what obsession, addictions, or ambitions we must resolve. Y'all better think about that shit. If Rahu is heavily afflicted, the soul gets trapped in the cycle of illusions, Maya. It's all an illusion, y'all. Real shit. Chasing worldly success but never feeling satisfied. Didn't I just tell y'all that shit? How Rahu keeps the soul in the illusion of life. So Rahu creates a strong attachment to life itself. People with strong Rahu influences fear death and cling to life with passion, y'all. And yeah, that's another thing because remember I said Rahu, they was this deity called Sarbanu. They snuck into this actual ceremony or whatever the hell to drink some soma, the elixir that make the gods live forever, and they got cut in half, but they got cut in half after they took a sip of the shit, right? So Rahu also can show immortality. And you want to know what else shows immortality? The Rahu rule, technological revolutions, uploading people's consciousness to like the web of servers, keep them alive forever. Y'all should watch the shows like Alter Carbon. That's a good show. Alter, that's probably the best show to really explain it. Everybody on there get killed, but then they come right back to life. But through technological advancement. That's Rahu too. Illusions and confusion. Rahu blinds individuals to true reality, making them chase fame, money, or pleasures as if they will last forever. Real shit, y'all. Look at this shit. These are accurate examples of not wanting to let go or just having desires in general. These images capture that essence. Look at this shit. Don't it all seem so, I guess, kind of bittersweet? You see why I got the symbolism of the hand reaching out because that's what the hand does. What it grabs, it grabs, it grasps things, real shit, holding on and shit and not being able to let go. That's what keep us here. That's what keep us all here, real shit. That's what keep us. You look at these pictures. Look at this, him and her. Look, they touching, but look at this separation. It's basically the longing for something. The longing for something will keep your ass here. I'm not capping. Now look at this right here. Now, this is the path and final liberation of the soul. Look, all these different cycles. Look at these different people. Look at them different people. And look, so imagine the soul going from his body, all whoever the fuck is on the bone up until boom. You achieve the end, right? And look at it. You start from the ground level, right? Look where the tree is at. The more you get old, the more you go up. Listen, you get closer to what? The stars, the planets, the ether. Real shit. And that's what y'all are all just trying to really achieve, right? So yes, y'all. So yes, I hope y'all really understand. Oh my God. Oh look, y'all. Why I be hating this shit so much? This shit is always popping up on my shit. I be hating this shit. Boy, I thought I just disabled this damn pop up shit. I guess I didn't though. But yes, y'all. So yes, y'all. But y'all see and understand this shit. This shit. Y'all need to go run back and take a good look at this shit and understand. This is the soul. This is the reincarnation of the soul. So yes, y'all. Now y'all had that shit fully explained. You know, I'm talking about you should go out there and try to make the best karma your ass can make, right? Because the future yous are depending on you if you're not gonna try to make yourself liberated from the cycle of life, different rebirth. So yes, but listen, y'all stay tuned, y'all. Listen, I'm gonna have some more videos coming out this week. But if you want your birth chart read, follow me on TikTok, Revelation Kain. It's gonna be in the description and shit. Instagram, rexkainn with two N's, Inferno Rex with two O's, and the Rex with two X's. But it'll be in the damn description though. So yes, y'all. Y'all lads have a good